All right. Self-made episode. What is this? 116? 117? One or the other.
It's a lot.
I'm joined here with my good friend Hunter Collingwood, aka
Sunny Coast Windows.
Can you guess what he does?
I clean
Windows.
houses. Oh yeah, windows. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hunter's got a cleaning business up in Noosa in the Sunshine Coast.
Yep.
And him and I connected through TikTok a few years ago. And we've been friends ever since. And now we're in Sydney, and all we want to do is make content. So we've done a couple of skip videos. One of them's doing pretty well on the Instagram right now.
Yeah.
And we're like, why not just sit down and record a quick podcast as well? So no idea what we're going to talk about, but we're going to start with the topic of a cleaning business and just take it from there. So Hunter, tell us about your journey with starting the business into getting where you are now.
Funny story. It actually started through McDonald's. So I was working at McDonald's, and part of working at McDonald's, I was cleaning the windows, just like with the $5 squeegee and the $5 mop.
Yeah.
And then I remember this one shift. This is pretty much when it all started. Within this one shift, I had probably like 3 people come up to me being like, "Oh, jokingly, you should do cleaning for me, like, or you should clean my windows next, or this and that." And then I was like laughing back, and then I was like, hold up, maybe I actually should start a business. And then I remember this one person offering me, "Oh, if you work for me cleaning windows, I'll pay you $40 an hour." And on Macca's wage, I was like, $40 an hour, dude.
Sounds pretty crazy.
That can change my life. And so I thought about it. And then I looked into it that night, and I was like, should I actually start a window cleaning business, and would that be helpful? And then over the span of the next probably month, I literally went and bought my first squeegee and mop for $300 with a bucket, and I started bringing it to the McDonald's and cleaning it at McDonald's with this gear. Just still working for McDonald's, not having my own business, but just like getting better with the squeegee and mop. And then from there, I then just put my name out there, started my name. It was my mum's birthday. We came up with the idea of Sunny Coast Windows, and then that's when it all started pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's funny. I know a few people who started like that, where they were working like an office job and the office needed a cleaner. So they're like, all right, I'll do it. I want some extra hours at work. And then they did that. And, you know, they start getting approached by other people at the office, like, hey, you should clean my house, or you should clean the office. And then they start a cleaning business. Then, you know,
One thing led to the other.
Yeah, so it's interesting how that happened. But now you've got, 250 clients and...
Yeah, we got 250 recurring clients, which isn't too much in the window cleaning world, but like it's enough to keep a business running.
It's a great number.
It is a good number. And yeah, it's just so enjoyable. I couldn't imagine going back to another 9 to 5. It's just, there's pros and cons to it, but more pros than there is cons.
Yeah, it obviously gives you the flexibility to do what we're doing now, which is just, take a week off on very short notice, go travel, which is great. And, what are your kind of plans for the future with the business? Do you want to grow a team? Because I know you've been pretty comfortable just doing it by yourself, or with like 1 or 2 window cleaners with you. So
yeah,
what's on the horizons for you?
I definitely do want to grow this business. Like, I feel like especially where I am on the Sunshine Coast, like there's a lot of the market for it, because every house is massive $1 million mansions. And so like there's a lot of money in the window cleaning realm. I want to also integrate the pressure washing side to the business a bit more. And yeah, when it comes to team, like I'll build up a proper team this year with like, I don't know, 2 IC operations manager, all that good stuff. I want to get to the point where I'm not having to spend as much time on bringing in work. I'm actually paying somebody else to do all that for me. So at this point in time, that's what's losing majority of my time, which isn't helping me grow and work on the back end of the business to make it look better for everybody else,
Yeah, and it's good. Like saying you want to scale the services kind of horizontally, that adding on pressure washing and gutter cleaning and all those other exterior services. Like you can, since you've got that base of 250 customers already, even if just 10% of them wanted pressure washing, that's an extra like 30, 40, maybe even $50,000 in revenue just pulled out of thin air, because you've already got those. So what have been some of the challenges you've faced in growing the business to where it is now, and what have you found that's worked really well for you? Obviously you do content similar to me. Yeah, talk about some of the challenges you faced and how you kind of dealt with them. And
I would say, um, I would honestly just say the hardest thing was literally just, I mean, it's pretty counterintuitive, but starting the business. Like, that was probably one of the biggest challenges I've had to face so far. As in, the first 6 months, like, you have to break through that barrier of, like, is this working? Is this going to be something that I can actually live off? And it is like, you just got to build that structure first for multiple different reasons. One being, you got to get your name out there, which is the biggest thing. And what that has led to is, now that my name is out there, I'm having people come to me, and all the organic leads come out of thin air. People will just be like, "Oh, you were referred by this person, and this person. Can I get my windows cleaned?" And especially on the Sunshine Coast, but a lot of different places, the easiest way to get a client is coming from somebody else that they trust.
Yeah.
Because that's the word they're going to believe more. Like, I don't care how many ads you do. Like, at the end of the day, if someone sees an ad, or if someone hears a word from a friend, someone gets told a word from the friend, they're just gonna take the word from the friend better.
the best customers are always going to be from referral.
Yeah.
But they're also the hardest customers to get, because not only does someone have to know, like, and trust you enough to want to recommend you to a friend, but they have to, like, really truly believe that their friend or family member or whoever they're referring is going to have a positive experience with you.
Exactly.
Because if their friend or whoever they refer doesn't have a good experience, then that reflects poorly on the person referring them.
Exactly.
So it is like a very big thing on their part, because they don't want to refer someone to, a window cleaner, and then they don't have a good experience with them, and they're really unhappy, and then that doesn't look good on them.
Exactly.
So a referral it's a really big ask. It's not just like, oh yeah, I use this guy. It's like, there's a lot of trust built up and tied up into that. So
Yeah.
but it's also, like, the most powerful way to grow. It's like, it's trump any kind of advertising we do. I mean, the TikTok and Instagram would be a close second, because people obviously, like, watch me online, and they develop that, like, affinity towards me. And then, when we do the quote, it's like they've already kind of sold themselves on why they want to use us. But a referral is just like a step above that. And so if you can incentivize referrals and you can build a business on that, like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to be affected by market changes and price changes.
Yeah.
And like our business now, 30% of all of our new customers come from referral or word of mouth. So it's just something as well that builds as the business grows. Like that snowball, it starts very small, because obviously you can't get customers from word of mouth when you haven't started yet.
Correct.
So over time, it's going to get bigger and bigger. And then one day you're going to be in a position where you've got 250 clients, and now you've got 250 like referral partners essentially.
Yeah.
And that they've got friends, they've got family, and that snowball and that customer base just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Like, as I said, that's why I'm starting the business, because I didn't want to go through ads off the bat, because it's just not organic. I like the organic growth.
Yeah.
It's the best way to grow a business, and you get the best feedback if you do a good job, then you get the best feedback. The other thing that I have realized that has worked so well is, on the first time you go to a person's house and you do that clean, just spending like an extra 10% of your time just to make sure everything else is done above what you would normally do. I don't care if what you do already is amazing already. Just spending 10% extra time, even if that's just talking with the client about, I don't know, the cat Jeffrey or something, because you build that personal connection with that client, and that just helps them trust you and trust your business to then also refer in the future.
Yeah, we had a meetup in Sydney the other day with some people in my coaching program, and this was like a big topic of discussion there. We were talking about how we're pretty much we do the same thing, right? Like the cleaning business is technically commoditized. We all do the exact same cleaning. Like I'm the same as another house cleaner that does full house cleans. Like you clean windows, other window cleaners do the same thing you do. And so the only thing separating you from other people is you, like the person behind the brand.
Yeah.
And so the difference could be like one customer could be looking at business A and business B, like same type of business, same price. But if this customer has like an affinity towards business A, for whatever reason, it could be like, this customer is a Christian and this is like a Christian-led business.
Yeah.
They're just going to go to that business rather than this one.
Correct.
And they're also going to have like a stronger working relationship because they have like that common interest, or, they like this business's values, like maybe it's built on eco-friendly, like sustainability, that kind of thing. Maybe that's something they value.
Yeah.
And so you kind of just mitigate the whole issue of like price competitiveness and all of that. And like, that's why I really encourage people to like just share a bit about themselves online, like the people that post cleaning videos. Like, don't just make it about the cleaning, make it about you too. Like, just post about your day, post about what you're doing, post about what interests you, because you never know how that's going to resonate with someone. And that could be the difference between you know, just being another cleaning business, or you really like developing a strong like customer base of raving fans and stuff. Because that's what we've got in ours. Like, people love us. We've had clients for 6 years now. And it's like, you know, the value of that is crazy. Some people have spent, we have got one customer that I've had for 7 years, and I think he spent like $40,000 with us to clean his house, which is just crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of value in that. But with the content as well, you've obviously done a bit of content. What's your experience been like with that? Because I know you felt like you hit a bit of a wall with that. So how'd the content go? Did you get a lot of customers from TikTok and Instagram?
The content side of things for me and for what I was doing per content, I probably have gotten 10 clients from my TikTok. But that's just because how I base my content. Like, it's a very satisfying video type of content. So you're not looking, like, your demographic that you're aiming at is not a client's demographic.
So it's like people are just seeing that and they're like, oh, that's cool. Then they scroll past.
Correct.
Yeah.
But in saying that, it has led to, as you would know, like sponsorships or brand deals, or even just like reposters, like paying for your content. So I feel like it's just like especially when I first started, there was that extra boost of money that it was just enjoyable in the business, you know, because all you had to do was film a 30-second video, and then bam, a reposter's paying you $500 for that video.
Yeah, and you say, like, you know, 10 customers isn't anything to shrug your shoulders about. Like, lifetime value of 10 customers for you could be $20,000, $30,000. So, like, it's going to open. And like, you haven't really put that much effort into content, have you?
No.
Yeah, like, exactly. So, I think going into, I think I've talked about this before, like, going into the second half of this year and 2027, like, content is really going to be king, but not just content for the sake of content, but actually like really developing a brand and a personal brand. Like, my business, I don't really have like a social media for the business. It's just me, which is like, it's kind of weird because I don't really talk about Enhanced on my Jason Cleans TikTok account.
Yeah.
But despite that, 30% of all of our customers come from TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's like, if people want to seek you out, they'll go find you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have the wrong idea about the content. They make the content so commercial and like business focused.
Yeah.
But the people that do the best are the ones that have a personal brand that is like indirectly sort of linked to their business. Like, I'm wearing this shirt in all my videos. I talk about what I do, but I'm never like, you know, this is my business, Enhanced Cleaning. I'll be like, I own a cleaning business, and this is me doing my work. And the people I know who do that, they're the ones that do the best on social media. Like, like Charlotte from Care Cleaning, like, her TikTok account is Charlotte. Like, it's about her, and she's like one of the biggest people in like Australia in the cleaning TikTok space. So but then I look at other people and it's like, it's the name of the business. It's all just videos of their cleans and stuff like that. And that's falling into the category of like, you know, we're a commodity. Like, this is a cleaning business. I can't tell you apart from the next cleaning business and the next one.
Exactly.
And so you've got to, I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but you just have to incorporate that human element and, you know, put your face out there, or at least put your voice out there. And I think founder-led marketing is going to be really, really important in the near future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because people don't want to be told what to do, right? Like, if they're seeing a TikTok come from the business page, then it's just another ad to them. But if they're seeing a TikTok come from this personal brand and this person that actually owns a business, but they're not shouting it in your face, then psychologically they're automatically wanting to drift towards that person more than the business.
Exactly, because people like to buy from people.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to at the end of the day. That's why I always try to do in-person quotes because
Yeah.
you get that human connection.
Mm.
And a lot of the time, just having that connection and having a conversation with someone could be the difference between you getting the quote and not. Just
Exactly.
because that's what people value, especially like now more than ever, because we've got all this AI stuff and like everyone is so disconnected and social media is like just plaguing everyone. Like people are craving that human element in business, whether it be like, I feel like there's been a resurgence in like the hospitality space as well. Like cafes and restaurants are just packed everywhere you go. And it's like, I think we're coming full circle and people just want to be people again.
Come back to it,
people want to be more social.
Yeah.
So you do need to show that human element in your content now. And if you're not doing content at all, like first of all, you have to be doing that. But if you are doing content, just try to be, you know, show yourself in your videos and even just on Instagram, just post stories of yourself. Like there's a few people I follow on Instagram that are like, you know, they're not big, they've got a couple hundred followers, but they just post so consistently and like they're posting everything they're doing throughout the day. Like, you know, just completed the first clean and they're at like, just showing like what they got for lunch and then like off to go do a quote and then they're like walking their dog. And it's like, I just like I'm talking about them now because I remember them. Like these are memorable people that I follow. And it's like, if I was a customer in that market, I would go to that person because they're always at the top of my consciousness and they're always posting consistently. And it's like, oh, I like this guy. He seems nice. Like, you know, like this is what's going to differentiate you from all the other people in the market. So yeah, I think content's really important. Obviously, I'm biased, but you can still build a great business with, you know, paid ads. But as you said, organic's always going to be better. When it comes organically, there is no competition. Like paid ads, you do have competitors. And it can come down to things like price. When you build something organically with content or word of mouth or referral, none of that is even a thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. And like you get to, you know, meet people as well. Like we met through TikTok and like now we've been friends for a few years and we've learned a lot from each other, which is great. So even just that community aspect is good. And yeah, now we're in Sydney together. If you're not watching this podcast on video, we do have this on video. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't even know how much time do we have on this camera. I think we only have like, what does it say on the thing?
How many minutes at the top does it say we have left?
28 minutes. All right. We got a bit of time.
Yeah, we got the time.
What else should we talk about?
Let me drift this towards you. I would say, like we spoke about this ages ago.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time we actually met, and I spoke to you, and I was like, "How'd you do it?" And you were like, "Oh, I just got lucky." And I'm like, "Okay, interesting." And then you told me this other thing, saying that when you hit 6 employees, that's when you realize, well, that's when like things started to shift. So what made it about those 6 employees that shifted your business?
It's a good question. Yeah, I always tell people like the sweet spot for a business is like 6 to 12 employees. I think the real sweet spot is about 10. And the reason for that is like, first of all, I finally felt like I had structure. Yeah. You know, when I had less than 6 employees, if I had a bad couple of weeks and I lost 2 employees, I'd be working like, you know, 100 hours a week, just trying to keep on top of things. And I just felt like a hamster on a wheel constantly. Yeah. And then, I got to this point where I had about 6 employees and all of a sudden, like, I felt like I had a bit of breathing room. I felt like if someone calls in sick, you know, we've got 5 other people that can kind of cover for them. Sure. If I lose someone, like same thing, we can kind of cover and make it work. Sure. And I finally felt like I had a solid foundation to actually start building the business on. And then, from that point on, it just kind of took off. Like I went from 6 to 10 to 12 to 15 to 20. And I think it was a big mental shift for me. It was like a big mindset reframe. Just like I finally kind of validated to myself, like this is a real business. This is something that I can grow. It's like this is something that people want. This is something that people, you know, people want to work for me. Yeah. I was like, it took me the longest time to realize that, you know, people actually want to do this. Yeah. And it's like just, and from an operational standpoint, like I was saying, people calling in sick, you've got contingency, and you've now got a base of people that you can pick 1 or 2 good people and, you know, promote them up. And, but I would say it was like a big just mindset shift for me. I finally just realized that this was something that, you know, wasn't going anywhere and I could grow it. And it just gave me the most comfortability as a business owner because I could finally step back and work more on the business rather than in it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I would say that was like the big turning point for me. And ever since then, like, you know, we just haven't gone back.
Yeah, sick.
And a lot of the people that I help, like, same thing. I help them get to a point where they've got, actually someone at the lunch that we went to the other day, Steph, I think she has around 6 employees now. And same thing for her. Like, she's finally kind of got some breathing room where she can step back. And Christian, who we met up with, he's got a cleaning business in Sydney, doing about, you know, 20 to 25K a month, which is the other thing as well. When you've got more employees, you're doing more revenue, you make more money. But I think he's got about 6 employees as well. And he's finally stepped back and he's making like a really good income without needing to work. And he can now just focus on the business. And it just gave me that breathing room and also that confidence to actually really work on the business and grow it. Because until then, I was pretty, I wouldn't say half-hearted about it. I wouldn't say I wasn't trying, but I just didn't have this like really firm and solid belief that this was going to be something big.
Sure.
And so, yeah, it was just an arbitrary number where, like, in hindsight, I look back and that was where everything kind of changed for me.
Everything started to turn.
Yeah, and just from seeing other people and their experiences, like, it seems like that's a pretty common thread for, you know, residential and commercial cleaners where you get that solid foundation that you can start to build from. And same thing in Perth. Like, when I launched the second location, it was such an interesting thing because I had, like, Bunbury, which is the main location I have. Bunbury was doing, you know, like, when I started Perth, it was probably doing $1.5 million a year. And so, like, I'm just, you know, I'm making a comfortable income from that without needing to do anything. And so I'm like, all right, I'll do the same thing in Perth. But I basically had to do it all over again from scratch. Like, I was cleaning myself. I was, you know, when I went to 1, 2, 3 employees, like, there's all the headaches of having a small team and, like, you got to fill in for people. And then I was like, man, this is like the exact same thing as when I was building Bunbury. It's like the timeline was condensed a little bit because I obviously had learned from a lot of mistakes, but it was the same battles, same fires I was putting out. And then again, same thing. When I got into that kind of like 6 employee range in Perth, I finally was able to step back and just work on growing the business. And then that's when, you know, Perth went from 200K to 300 to 400 to 500. And like the timeline for growth just accelerates once you're able to finally start to work on the business, which I think that's the important thing as well. Like, people are too short-sighted in business. They see, you know, when you take yourself out of the business to work on it, your income drops. Like, that's just the reality. Like, when you're trading your time for, you know, working in the business and getting paid for the hours that you're putting in, like, that's 100% margin. And so you make pretty good money. And then as soon as you step back and work on the business, that income just pretty much drops to, like, you know, if you're hiring employees, it drops to like 20%. But the leverage you get where you can then sink your time into actually growing the business, and then over a period of like 6 months, 12 months or years, those hours you put in compound into, like, for me, it's been, you know, millions of dollars. But people are just too short-sighted and they don't want to take themselves out because, you know, they're going to earn, you know, whatever it is, $1,000 less per week. But they don't see the bigger picture where you finally get that time back that you can spend working on the business to then 5x it in like 2 or 3 years. So,
well, exactly right. And I remember you saying also, like, Stacey, so your main gal, like, she's brought on so much work for you that, like, you're just so thankful to have her. And I feel like, people don't realize that not only bringing that person on, it saves time for you, but then it also brings on more work for you. Like, it allows you to fit more water in the tank, pretty much.
Yeah, and I was able to just scale up my marketing efforts because I was no longer working in the business. And then I put Stacey in, who was at the time a lot more hungry than I was, like, to just really grow it. She had that drive and that work ethic. And so I took myself out and I finally had more time to like build systems, refine things, work on the hiring process, do more content, do more advertising. And then the lead flow tripled. And because Stacey had that drive, she just like was converting the leads and making sales. And it meant like we doubled the business in like 9 months.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the same thing in Perth, and it's just like it's funny how similar the experiences are. It's like the exact same journey to get to where I am or where I was in Bunbury, just in a shorter period of time.
All over again.
Yeah. So, and I see it with every business. Like every business is the same, and we all go through the same mental challenges.
Yeah.
And we all go through the same like hurdles and stuff. It's really just a matter of who can like withstand that the best, or who can navigate that the best mentally.
Yeah.
Like the people that give up are like, that's it. They're just the people that give up.
Yeah.
The only real reason you fail in business is because you said you did.
Yeah.
And then you walk the other way.
Yeah.
But the people that do well, like they've experienced the same hardship as you and I. Like they've had to go through the same problems, and they've had to do the late nights and like cancel birthdays and trips, but they just stuck at it for whatever reason, whether they're like insane or what. But
exactly.
But they kept doing it, and now they are where they are now.
Yeah. You don't get lucky in business. You work for it. Like people always say like, oh, how did you do it? And they get so like amazed by like this accomplishment of like building a business. And I'm like, literally anyone can build a business. All you got to do is just put in the work and like constantly do it. Like everyone wants to make money overnight and build a multi-million-dollar business like tomorrow. No, it's just by putting in, it's with anything, like even music. Like you don't become an amazing writer or music producer overnight. Like it takes years of just like constantly, I don't know, rapping on beats.
Olivia Dean, I think she won the Grammy for like best emerging artist or new artist. Olivia Dean has dropped like 7 albums.
Yeah, she's been along for a long time.
She's been around for like a decade, but she just won like best new artist. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing in business. People see you as like an overnight success one day, but they don't see like the 7 years of work you put in before. Like 7 years is a lot of time. That's how long I've been doing this. Yeah. And I know people who have been in business 7 years, and you know their business is 5 times bigger than mine. And I'm like, you know, it's like there's levels to this, and it's just a matter of, you know, like I'm not the most ambitious or driven person. Like that's why there's people that do 10 times better than me. And that's all it boils down to. It's like, who has the most drive? Who is willing to just like endure the most like shit? Like who is willing to just go through the mud and just get it done and just keep doing it every single day through thick and thin? Yeah. And who can like delay gratification the longest? Because I didn't make, you know, $1 million in my first year. I didn't even make 100,000 in my first year. Yeah. It takes time, and you've got to be willing to stick it out. So, what was I about to say? I was about to say something before we started talking about.
Well, I was also just going to add on to that. Like, if you're not good in an area, then find someone to be good in that area. Like, if you're shocking at marketing, hire someone that's it has to be like one day a week. That's all you need. Just one day a week, them just working on the marketing. If you hate doing marketing, then just get somebody in to do it. Like if you hate being, I wouldn't say like the boss, because you kind of need to be the boss in the business. But if you need someone to like relieve that pressure, then just bring somebody on to relieve that pressure for you. Like it doesn't have to be this like big scary thing of building a business. Like you don't got to take on all these responsibilities. You just got to oversee the people that do those responsibilities.
I tell people that as well. Like you don't have to be the best marketer. You don't have to know how to file a tax return or like do your BAS. You don't need to know how to even run payroll. You just need to know enough about how it works so that you can oversee someone else doing it.
Exactly.
Like my virtual assistant, Jessa, she does all our accounts, like reconciliation, invoicing, payroll. I don't even really like know some of the ins and outs of what she does, but I know enough that I can see like, oh yeah, that's being done right. That's being done optimally. Same thing with, you know, my management. Like I don't need to know how they're operating. I just need to know enough about like what's actually going on so that I can keep my finger on the pulse. Same thing with the accounting. Like I don't know how to file a BAS or do this or do that, but like I've educated myself to the point where I can at least have an idea of what's going on, have that understanding.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, like you don't need to know exactly how to do things, but if you just learn enough about it and then you can delegate it, like you get the same result, and you're able to get leverage because you're using someone else's time and expertise, and then you can focus on what you're actually good at, which if there's one thing you do need to get good at in business, it's just sales.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything else can be delegated. Sales you can delegate, but I think as a business owner, you should
be the face.
You should be the face. You should be the one that's closing the deals. Until it gets too big for you, and then obviously you bring more people in. But that's the one skill every business owner needs. It's the only thing you should focus on, and then everything else is secondary to that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like sales is the lifeblood of the business. If you don't have sales, then you don't have accounting, you don't have HR, you don't have any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Have you done obviously with exterior cleaning? There's like a big, you got like door to door and like all this like hustle, like sales culture. Have you done much of that stuff? Have you gone door to door before?
I definitely tried it for a period when I was building my business, because you'd see all those people on TikTok and be like, oh, like this. They rave about it. Let's try it.
They make it seem really easy.
Yeah, they make it seem really easy. Make it seem like a thing that you need to do. I did definitely try door knocking. Literally for one day, I cleared about 4 streets when I did this. I think I went up to 200 plus houses and I gained 5-ish clients. So I mean, you definitely have to get pretty to the word no. Like you have to get comfortable hearing no, or you just hear the multiple different ways someone can say no. But I mean, it did bring on clients.
And it also would have built your skill set as well. Like
100%.
You would have become so much better at talking and so much better at handling objections and the word no, which is like
the biggest thing.
It's one of the toughest things is like, we don't want to hear the word no.
No.
We're conditioned as people. We don't want to, like if we want to get something, like, we want to see it through. We don't want to be told that we can't have it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I haven't gone door to door. I haven't had a need to, but it's I've done cold calling, and same thing. Like the first 10 cold calls, you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? This is I don't have a clue how to speak to these people. I don't think this is ever going to net me a client. And then you do like 50 and 100, and you're like, okay, I'm still not getting anything out of this, but I feel like I'm getting a bit better. Yeah. And then eventually, you get to you might have to dial 200-300 numbers, but you do get that one person that says yes, and then all of a sudden the other 299 no's mean nothing.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, door to door knocking or even just cold calling, like
it's just
all it's taking is your time.
Yeah.
And so if you have so much time in the business, especially when you're starting out, like it realistically is not costing you a thing to go past those people.
Yeah.
And as you said, like you have to warm up to even just talking with these people about the business, getting good with your approach, getting good with all these other things that you can then use for later cold calls or door knocks. And that one no turns into 2 no's, turns into 3 no's. And I know one of the yeses that I did get, can't even speak, did get years ago, I still have them as a client.
Yeah.
And like, she's brought me on so much work. She's a lovely lady, and the house it's a beautiful house. So when I first started, that one yes was like, took me 200 no's to get there. But I mean, it sticks with you for a long time, and it brings you on so much other things. So,
and every no gets you closer to a yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that one client, how much do you think they've spent with you, or added to the business with referrals and everything as well?
With referrals?
Yeah.
Over 10, 20,000.
Okay,
Easy.
So you had to knock on 200 doors to make $20,000 essentially.
Yeah.
So you divide 20,000 by 200. That's how much you got paid to be told no.
It evens out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you think about that, like it's actually pretty good. And I'm not saying that every client that you get as a yes is going to lead to a $20,000 yes. Like it might not, but that's just the whole point of it.
it's interesting how the math works because, like,
Yeah.
you know, let's just say you made $20,000 from this one client, and you had to you had to go through 200 people to get that. That essentially means like you've been paid $100 to be told no by 200 people. Like 20 grand. Obviously, it's not how it really works, but
girl math it.
Yeah, girl math it. Exactly. Yeah. So I've always like that was the biggest mindset shift I had in cold calling was like every no gets you closer to a yes, but also you get paid for every no.
Yeah.
Because when you do finally get a client, like
pays for it.
Yeah, like all those no's were just a necessary step along the way. It's like a prerequisite to get the yes.
Yeah.
Like if we got a client on every cold call, like we'd all be billionaires.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not how it works. That's not the game.
Yeah.
And we met up with some of the guys that were at the lunch. Like they built their entire business on cold calling.
Cold calling, yeah.
They're doing about $1 million a year, all from cold calls.
So it's clearly it works. I mean,
it's just like, you know, pick your poison. What do you want to do? Do you want to go door to door? Do you want to cold call? Do you want to do social media content? Do you want to do ads? Or do you want to do a bit of everything? Like they all work. It just comes down to, you know, what you will and won't do for money. I don't really want to go door to door. It's just not something that it really interests me. So I just avoid that. And I do content and I incentivize referral and I've built my SEO. And for me, that works.
Yeah.
For Hunter, it looks different. And then for the next guy, it's going to look different as well. But everyone just needs to get good at one thing and then just do that consistently over and over again. Until you've built the business to a point where you can then start to delegate and you can start to automate stuff. And that's really the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun little business. I feel like if you want to build a business, you just got to get prepared to play the game. Like at the end of the day, it's a game and you just got to enjoy playing that game to build a good business.
It's like, it really is a lifestyle. Like you do have to love business or you're going to hate it. Especially in the early days when, you know, you're doing 100-hour weeks. It genuinely ruins, you know, like weekends and you can't make plans and it takes time away from family and friends if you've got those.
Yeah.
I don't have that issue, but yeah, like you got to really love it.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
I think it's similar to like, you know, people that go to uni and they do things like med school. Like if you don't love that, you're going to hate it and you're going to drop out and you're going to just go into something else. I think it's the same with business. There's a lot of people that give it a go and for whatever reason they drop out and it's just not for everyone. Like you have to be wired a certain way to really do well in business.
Yeah.
And I think we all have to be like a little bit, every business owner I've met is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got to be because they got to have something different about everybody else that makes them.
You got to have like a little bit of ADHD or whatever. I watched a video and it was like this case study into like successful entrepreneurs, and the bottom line of it was like the most successful people are the ones that manage their ADHD the best. That was like the finding of that. That was the whole case study. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't love it, you'll hate it.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a way of life business, but it's fun. Like it is a game.
And you just gotta get that enjoyment for it. I feel like after the first couple of months, then when you start getting a lot of clients and you start getting this consistent income, you gain that. It's almost just dopamine. You get that dopamine hit from it, and you're like, I enjoy this. And then you enjoy building it, and then you get bigger spikes of dopamine. Like it's just this one big fun thing that you just got to enjoy.
Yeah, and you just need to stay consistent. Like even listening to a podcast, that's you know, there were people like Steph who was at the lunch, and she's one of the people that's in my program, and I just keep seeing her growing and growing and growing. And like I can't take any credit for that. Yes, she listens to my podcast and she's in the coaching thing, but I look at someone like that and I'm like, she's going to do well regardless of what program she's in or if she even has a coach. Like regardless of anything, she's going to figure it out on her own. Obviously, if she's learning from me, it'll just happen quicker because she won't have to make some of the mistakes and whatnot. But you can just look at people and you can tell like this person's going to do well. Like success for them is inevitable because they show up every day. They're consistent. They've just got that mindset. And like, yeah, like the people that I've noticed that have done the best are the ones that, like at least in my little ecosystem, they like listen to all my podcasts. They listen to Q&A calls. They just show up. and they're just consistent, and like they live and breathe their business, and it pays off. Like it's what I do. Like I lived and breathed my business. I still do. It's like when everyone meets me and they catch up with me, they're like, "You really love cleaning, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like this is my entire life.
Yeah.
Like I devote everything to this.
Yeah.
And even when I'm away on holiday, like we just want to film content. We want to make podcasts, and like this is just how we're wired. So that is the game. Yeah. How are we going for time as well? We got
almost done.
Almost done. All right. Yeah, we literally had no idea what we were gonna talk about. We just got the camera out and we're like, all right, let's turn this on and just talk. But no, I think
It's been good actually. Like if I would find this pretty helpful if I was listening to this.
well, that's good. That's good.
So
It's even it's just good to talk.
it is.
Like I feel revitalized. Like I woke up feeling sluggish as. Like I did not sleep well last night, but now I'm feeling pumped. I'm ready to seize the day because we're talking business and this is my thing. This is my jam.
Yeah. No,
So-
I'm ready. Let's make some content today as well.
That's what we were talking about at the lunch as well. I'm like, if anything, like guys, everyone that you met today, like keep in touch. Just keep talking. Like build friendships in this community because like when you're around like-minded people and we all share that common interest and we all have that same drive, like we can all do, like a rising tide raises all ships. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
yeah. So
That was good.
just have more conversations about business, make more friends in business. Like you got to love it. I want you to love it. I want people to do well. I want to see people do well, and I want to see people have fun because business can be a life-changing thing for better or for worse. Like I've seen the bad side of it. Like I get messages from people. I got a message yesterday from someone. I think you heard it. It was like a voice message. And this guy was telling me about how his parents, they have a cleaning business and it's just, it's doing really bad. And he just hates seeing his parents like struggle and they're doing 100-hour weeks, not making much money. And like, that's the other side of business. And there are lots of people that are doing it tough. And I want to see people do well. But unfortunately at the same time, like not everyone can do well because then, that's just not how the game works. You've got to have the low end, the high end, the average. But if you keep doing the right things consistently, if you keep showing up and doing the work, then more likely than not, you're going to be on the other end of the spectrum doing well. So listen to this podcast, listen to all my other podcasts. That's step one, right?
Step 2 is getting as good looking as you.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to, I think this is episode 116 of Self-Made. Can't believe I've done this many so far. Finally got my guy Hunter on the podcast.
Yeah.
Been a long time coming. I've known you since before I even started this, so it's cool to get you on.
I think I actually gave you the name, so I might have to get a cut from this.
I think that might be a lie, but we'll see. No, I'll get you on. We'll do like a 3-hour one at some point. I reckon me and you could just talk for hours. So
we could.
I love this stuff, but I hope you enjoyed that. If you are watching in the video, obviously it's not the nicest day in Sydney, but we're in Sydney and we're on the harbour, so how can you complain? Look at that view.
It's pretty nice.
We've actually got to clean up our B&B and check out, I think in like 30 minutes. So
Oh, really?
yeah, we got to, hey, luckily I'm Australia's fastest cleaner, so let's get this done. All right, thanks for watching everyone.
Cheers, guys.